guys, LongHaul Larry. I'm out here in the ADL shop and it is time to work on truck 800. Let's see here. Get together my list here. Alright, shop schedule. Alright, we're changing the oil. Fuel filter change, APU oil filter changed. We're changing out the coolant filter, changing out the DEF filter, the neck filter for the DEF, replace the tank filter vents, replace the dozer injector, replace rear brake light. Turn signal does not work on that light. So I guess one of these lights back here, doesn't say which one, but I think I could figure that out. Alright. Check the batteries. Security airline from the compressor. John had an issue with the compressor airline, and every one of these Volvos I've checked afterwards, every one of them has had a worn spot exactly the place where John's hose blew. So I've there's a little trick that I used to do when we used to do these old Mack trucks, and the hoses and stuff, we'd wrap them, and I'll show you guys that stuff. The cabin filters, check and clear the codes, grease the truck, check over the truck, change the APU setting to 5 amp, and the front license plate bracket is broken. That's bent. So we got quite a bit of stuff to do on this truck. Did a little more stuff on John's, and took a little too much time on that one, actually, to tell you the truth. Let's see, what else do I got to do? Looks like after this truck, I'm gonna have 792 in here. Doing a couple things on that. And then it looks like I got the Boss Man Dad's truck in here. Got some things to do in that. Then we'll be pulling black truck back in here. We're going to be doing kingpins, wheel bearings, steering arm ends. And then 796. Oh, he's coming in on Friday. He's coming in and got a list on that stuff. This list just keeps growing and growing, boys and girls. I'm out here for the week, actually. You have to excuse the shop. I'm just going nuts here today, truck and trailer, and it's been a chaotic day. I'm actually super tired already, but I want to knock this thing out tonight. Basically, get the majority of it done, and then I can go to sleep, get up in the morning. And I think this driver is going to show up. He's going to come up here at noon. That's what I heard, to take this truck. So I need to get it done by then. And then I also have to pick up a load at noon tomorrow too. I have to pick up a load and deliver to Costco. So I got a lot of stuff to do. A little time to get her done. So there's the plan. A lot of stuff to do. Little time to get her done. You guys want to see something pretty cool? We got these oil drums set up, you know, for oil changes and everything. And the rest of them, they all cranks. You gotta excuse the mess. I got so much stuff going on here. But the boss bought one of these, and it's an air operated pump. Came from Harbor Freight. You know, I was thinking, okay. And I hooked it up on this one. He gave me a manual one. He's like, just use that one for now. Well, I don't see the purpose in getting one all oily and dirty. If we're going to use it, we're going to use it. Watch this. You just put the air to it. It actually, it pressurizes the 55-gallon tank, and you set it up with the regulator and how much pressure it's supposed to have. And then you just open up this. Look at that. Woohoo! That's pretty cool. And I'm about a gallon shy. Thing is though, It keeps pressure and it keeps running. So when you get done, you gotta let the air out, otherwise it just keeps on running out of there, it keeps dripping. But what I'm saying is get some hose to fit over this and have the hose long enough to fit out here and put the hose in there. And he's actually checked into it, and I guess there's something that you could put in line with the hose or whatever that will measure, you know, the fluid by gallon as it goes through it. So that would be pretty cool. Then you could just, you know, flip the button and just sit there and watch the hose. Boom. That's pretty cool. It's gonna be a time saver. Pretty cool. Let that settle and check it over again. I got all the oil changed, all the filters changed and everything. And I'm gonna do the APU next. Well guys, we got the oil all changed out in the APU. All the fuel filter and the oil filter changed out. Now we gotta do the air filter. And I'll tell you what, these Volvos suck. They, you know, you gotta take the bottom panel off. By the way, look at that bottom panel. Something was hit. It's all damaged. I'm gonna have to take the dead blow hammer and see if I can straighten all that out. But you got to take actually the side panel off on this APU. You can see how much room there is. Usually, you just, to get this air filter, you just go in from the top and you got to go. And there's a clip. You should be able to see that. There's a clip right here, but there's also a clip on the bottom. And then that comes off. Let's see, the cap comes off. But you cannot, because there's no room, you can't clip it. The first one I did, I think it was John's. Man, I messed with this thing for probably an hour or so. Trying to get this air filter changed out. And it's just pretty dirty. It's supposed to look like that. And I mean, my arm was just numb and everything else. And finally I just was like, just take off the side panel and get to it. I figured that out on the next one. But you're still doing a lot by feel. But these clips are what the problem is. And I don't think I'm going to be able to, well, here. Wipe out the inside of this cover. It's all dusty and dirty. So you gotta get that around it. Get the filter in there. It's all kind of by feel. Because you don't get these things underneath here like this. Okay, just like that. But the problem is that the clip on the bottom, there's a hose down here. And so you gotta hold it while you clip it. That's why it's just easier just to oh, there goes my weight. Oh, almost had it. There we go. Boom. The top one's not a big deal. It's the bottom one. There we go. So now there we got her changed. So you just got to take that side panel off. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts and the whole side panel comes off. Just a lot easier. So I'm gonna go fire up the APU, run it for a bit, and recheck the oil. Make sure that's all good, and then put the covers all back on. So you can see this. Somebody waxed something. It's a brand new APU pretty much. I'll take the dead blow hammer and beat on it and see if I can straighten that out somewhat. Well, I think I got that pretty straight. I'm hoping the bolts all line up. I beat this thing and beat this thing, but it's pretty straight. Still got a little curvature to it. That's pretty good. Somebody whacked something with that. Oh boy, have I had a horrible time. As you can see, there's a disaster going on here. The reason why is I started this thing up and it didn't sound so good. It sounded really rough. And I kind of know I didn't hear the fuel pump doing its tick 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 noise, you know. I've done videos before on fuel pumps, you know. If you don't hear that noise, then the fuel pump, you know, is out. And I didn't think I heard it, and the engine wasn't running so good. And I changed all the filters while I cracked the line. And then when you fire back up, you know, the fuel pump runs, and it takes maybe a time or two to start back up until it primes everything. And I sat out here, and it spit and sputtered and died. And then I tried to start it again, and I sat out here watching it, and the fuel pump wasn't making any noise. So, like, the fuel pump's bad. Well, we don't have a new fuel pump here. We got a lot of APU parts, but we don't have a new fuel pump. Don't know why. So, that's the fuel pump off of my truck. This truck has to leave tomorrow. And I don't, my truck can idle. I can idle my truck. So I can idle my truck to sleep and all that stuff. This guy can't. These trucks don't idle solid. So I decided, and the boss is going to be running getting a bunch of parts in the morning, but he said he wouldn't be back till probably afternoon. And this driver is coming in at noon. So I decided, instead of having a bill of him stopping at a thermal cooking place, I'll just rip my fuel pump. So it's right here. And you guys, I've done videos on changing these fuel pumps. I went through like 2 or 3 fuel pumps trying to find one that was good. Remember, I had to take them out and did it in parking lots and stuff, and would exchange them and stuff. It lasted 2 months, and then I finally got one, and this one's lasted a year and a half probably. And this one seems to be good. But now when she fires up, it makes all the noises and fires up and purrs like a kitten now. So now we're just piecing this all back together. We're getting stuff done, guys. I'm getting tired though. Whew. Well, guys, I'm gonna show you a little something about these Volvos here. Okay, this one's not too bad. But every Volvo that we've had that's here, you have your main airline right here that I'm holding on to. And what has been happening is they've been rubbing. Actually, John, he had his rubbed through, and right there, see it? And he had his rubbed through. Every one of them is the same spot. And he had to get it fixed out on the road. And I noticed it on these Volvos. They're all the same place. It's exactly where his rubbed through, and all of the other ones are doing the same thing. So a little trick I'm doing is taking a bike inner tube. used to do this when we used to work on those old Macs. My boss used to wrap up hoses that, like this, with a bike inner tube. You need to slit it down, put it around there, and just like that. Put a zip tie around it. Just like that. And that will protect the hose. They've all been doing it in the same spot. There's also a hose up there in the corner of the air tank. And all the rest of the Volvos did, there's like a little 1/4 inch air line that goes up right along the side there. And it's super tight and it rubs right on the metal. And so I've taken a chunk of this, but this one actually has a longer hose. It's good. Here's something crazy. Got your APU here, right? And it's tied into the truck coolant system. And if you develop a leak on your APU or something like this, they put valves in line. And, you know, the Kenworth's got them on everything. Mine has them and stuff. And I've had problems with my APU and a leaky hose or whatever. And maybe didn't get it fixed or something like that. These valves here are up in the engine by a firewall, and you can just pop the hood, got a coolant leak, shut them off. That way you don't have coolant leaking out back here. When they did these, they put them underneath the truck. I mean, I can get underneath here now because I got all the fairings off here, but the driver, I mean, is he going to do all this to get underneath, you know? And he's not going to know they're down underneath there. It's pretty crazy. So let's take a look at our list here, see what we got going on. Right, so it was the right turn signal, so I replaced that. Just pop that in. But guys, we're all done with that. My camera died and stuff, and it's too much recording and everything else, too much data on cards. But I'm tuckered out. But we got everything done. Let's see, truck oil change, yep, fuel filter, APU is all taken care of. Replace coolant filter, yep. Replace DEF filter, yep. Neck tank filter, yep. Tank filters. Dozer injector. Rear brake light, yep. Check the batteries, check the airline, compressor, yep. Front rear cabin, filters, yep. Clear the codes, grease truck, check over truck. Change APU setting to 5 amps. Change the front license plate bracket. So that one's all done. Yeah, I'm a little done. 5:30 in the morning. I've actually been, I started yesterday at 8:30 in the morning. So it's been 21 hours. I think the only time I have left the shop is I needed to go get a couple gallons of gas for the power washer. And so I ran to the gas station. So it's been a long day. But we got everything all done. The driver will be able to go, and I gotta go give me a few hours sleep, and then I gotta go pick up a load at the bakery place, and that's just gonna be delivered in a Costco here, just outside of town. And go pick that up, and then I'll come back to the shop and start on another project. So I hope everyone out there is having themselves a great day, great night. So watching this here video, and if you're not, certainly try that all over again tomorrow. I'll catch you later. Bye.